All right, let's answer some audience questions. The first question today is from Nick, and that question is, what are your thoughts when someone says, well, we will have to just agree to disagree? I've been in a number of conversations where ultimately someone ends up saying this. I don't really like it. I mean, I tend to not like the we'll just have to agree to disagree when someone says it to me, because I feel like typically it's said to me when I've challenged someone's belief with fact. They don't like the facts, and they're basically just trying to end the conversation by saying, hey, you know what? It's a disagreement. I don't think we're going to resolve it today. At the same time, there have been times where I feel like I'm at an impasse with someone, where I've tried to explain to them with all of the facts that I'm aware of why their belief about something is wrong, and they just don't understand what I'm saying. And I will sometimes say, let's agree to disagree, but I say it almost sarcastically, where I'm like, listen, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Clearly, this isn't going anywhere. So I'm not actually saying it to say I'm satisfied with agreeing to disagree. I'm sort of saying, I don't think you even have the competency to understand what it is that I'm explaining to you.
Yeah. 10 years ago, you'd have never solved this problem. But now with these wonderful things called smartphones, where you can just put facts right in someone's face and see the anger of their ignorance, if you
But
will.
it doesn't even matter. I mean, I know what you're saying, where before smartphones, you would get into an argument with someone and you had no way of pulling a device out and just actually finding the facts. I'm not convinced that being able to pull out a smartphone and, quote, find the facts actually helps to resolve that many arguments, because number one, you can find some source on the internet to back up almost any assertion or belief. And number two, many times people are often not that influenced by facts, at least in the conversations I have, which is why I say to people many times, I'm not huge on even engaging in political debate like when I'm out socially, because it tends to get very, very awkward, sort of negatively tinge the entire rest of the evening, and very little is accomplished in my experience. I don't know if you engage in political debate with friends or family.
I end up on my soapbox every now and then preaching to people. But I think what you do in the end here, when you agree to disagree
Yeah.
sarcastically, it's like any good compromise, I was told, is where both parties walk away feeling like they got fucked.
But the problem is there's no sometimes on opinion that makes sense, or sometimes when we're talking about a deal, yeah, the whole everybody ends up unhappy when there's a good compromise thing does make sense to me. But when we're talking about the empirical reality of something, this whole we should both end up unhappy with some kind of middle ground. No, there's right and wrong when it comes to things that can actually be determined empirically. And that's why I sort of struggle with let's agree to disagree. Someone usually is walking out there with some belief that is completely not based in fact when that term is used. So I do admit that I sometimes use it. I think it's ridiculous. And when I use it, I'm basically saying it as sort of I'm surrendering to the fact that we're not getting anywhere else.